Hi, I hope everyone has survived the first week of the course. Every week I try to send out a video summarizing some of my thoughts from the discussion board posts, as well as talking a little bit about the course and what the rest of the semester is going to look like. I want to just emphasize that I want everyone to be successful in this course, so if you are having questions about the material, please send me an email, phone call. You can meet in person in my office if you're here in Cincinnati. I'm more than happy to set up an appointment via WebEx. UC has access to WebEx, so if you want to have a conference online, I'm happy to do that as well. Several of you have already taken advantage of it, but if there's any questions about the homework, again, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm very quick to respond via email, and I want you to be successful in this class. So this week I want you, if you can, I want you to participate in an online market experiment. On Monday is already passed, but on Wednesday and Friday, Wednesday at 8 p.m. and Friday at 9 p.m., I would like for you to go to game.moblab.com, and there I want you to set up a user account, and all this information is in an email I send as well. But I want us to conduct an online market experiment where we can see how when people try to maximize their own surplus, so if you're a buyer, you try to buy at the lowest price, and if you're a seller, you try to sell at the highest price. I want to participate in a market experiment where we can see how when buyers and sellers engage in market transactions, that the market can actually converge on the equilibrium price and quantity. And know that I'm not going to grade you on how well you do in the experiment. So if someone else does better than you, that's perfectly fine. I just want you to experience what an online auction is like. And then I've asked you to comment for this week's discussion board. I've asked you to comment and post your responses there. I'm actually going to grade your discussion board post for your grade for this class. So that's how the grade is going to be assigned. And if you can't make the times, I understand everyone's got classes or work that they may have to attend to. There's an alternative assignment that you can just post as you've done for the previous discussion board assignment, and I'll grade that as well for the 10 points. So as far as the first discussion board posts, generally I thought the comments were pretty good. A few things to remind you of. The opportunity cost is the value of your next best alternative. Okay, so it's not the sum of all your possible things that you could be doing with your time. It's just the value of the next best alternative. It's also not zero. So a few of you mentioned that the opportunity cost was really low or not at all. And that's not the case. Everybody has an opportunity cost. Every action you do, there's something else that you could be doing. So even if your tuition is free, and I know that some of you work at UC or some of you are already full-time students, and so you're not actually paying any additional out-of-pocket costs, but you are still incurring the time to complete the course is primarily the main opportunity cost. Many of you could be working, many of you could be studying, doing other things, maybe spending time with your family. A few of you mentioned that you had young children or recently had a baby. I think one person in particular said that they're giving up the time to spend with a 4-month-old baby. So obviously there's pretty high opportunity costs for taking this class. So no one has zero opportunity costs. Also make sure that you're only including those opportunity costs and not the direct costs. So some of you mentioned that, for example, the books you pay were opportunity costs. That's not an opportunity cost. It will go into your calculations when I ask you later in the post to calculate the return on investment. You certainly want to consider those out-of-pocket costs, but those out-of-pocket costs themselves are not opportunity costs. A few of you did a really nice job detailing what the return on investment is. I think one person, Alex or Alec, had used really detailed figures, had pulled sources from what the expected return on investment is going to be. And I wanted to make sure that you at least didn't just say, I think my return is going to be X. I wanted you to put some thought into at least looking at some data. Some of you had cited material from Forbes that showed a person with an MBA saw an increase of 30% in their salary. Other people quoted other types of articles. But I wanted to make sure that you didn't just guess or provided some thoughts on what your return was going to be. You actually took the time to do some of the research. So in the future, I want to make sure that when I ask you specific questions about doing a calculation or thinking about a particular issue, make sure that you actually do look at objective sources when you're calculating your answer. As far as the length of the post, there is a certain length required. I think it's 150 words. You can make your point in 150, 200 words. So the discussion board post itself doesn't have to be particularly long. I just wanted to make sure that you succinctly covered all the points that I asked you to make. The other thing is, please use spell check. I'm not asking you to use the Queen's English, but I would ask you that the grammar is correct and the spelling is correct. But otherwise, the grades should be posted in a couple of days, and I will try to make some comments every week so you can get a sense for how you're doing in the course so far. The Connect assignments, people seem to be doing pretty well. Recall that you have 2 attempts to complete the homework assignment. So what I recommend is the first time through, see which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong, and say you missed 4 questions, and that's fine. And you go back and you find those 4 questions, and you're able to correct and get 3 of them right, but you still don't know how to get that last one. Shoot me an email, right? I mean, don't struggle, and don't try to guess. I mean, try to figure out for yourself, of course. But I want to make sure that you're successful in this class. So there's going to be 2 more weeks of classes after. Well, I take that back. There's 1 week, and then there's spring break. And then the week that we come back from spring break, we're going to have the midterm exam, which is going to be a case that I've already posted, and I'll ask you to discuss that case, and that's how I'm going to grade the first 4 weeks of the material. So if you recall, this class is divided into essentially microeconomics, which is the first 4 weeks, and then macroeconomics, which is in the latter 3 weeks. So those are sort of my thoughts. I'm looking forward to participating in the discussion this week, and looking forward to reading your discussion board posts. If you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to reach out. Take care. Bye.